Welcome back. I'm Lauren Rosella. Last week we discussed mountain pose, half fold, and full forward fold. This week we'll be talking about upward facing hands, tree pose, and half moon. So today I have with me Kadyn to assist in our beginner yoga. Kadyn is fairly new to yoga, so this will be a good opportunity for her to practice her skills. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start in our mountain pose, which we discussed in last week's video. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to lift our arms up, sweep those arms all the way up to the sky, palms facing inward. What we want to do here is we want to make sure our palms are facing one another. We want to lower our shoulders down and away from our ears. So we want to think about sliding our shoulder blades down our spine. Engaging our core, engaging our pelvic floor, and continuing to maintain that nice strong posture as we do in our mountain pose, but keeping our arms up overhead, sliding those shoulders down and away from our ears. Deep breaths in through our nose and out through our nose, staying nice and strong in that pose. Palms staying pressed in toward one another. We're gonna lace those fingers together all the way together except for that forefinger. So we're gonna lace those fingers, keeping that forefinger connected, keeping those shoulders down and away from our ears. Taking a deep breath in. As we exhale, we're gonna reach over toward the right side of the room, pressing down into the left foot and opening up the left side of that rib cage, continuing to keep those shoulders away from our ears and continuing to maintain the same distance between our arms and our ears, keeping our head nice and centered in between our biceps. Taking a deep breath in, back up to center, fingertips pointing toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, reaching over to the other side of the room, the left side of the room. Continuing to maintain that nice, strong upper body, keeping that pelvic floor engaged, keeping that core nice and tight, pressing down into our opposite foot to maintain that connection with the floor. Taking a deep breath in, back up into center, bringing those palms down to our heart center and back into our mountain pose. Transitioning into our tree pose, we're gonna start on our right side, which will be your left side because we're gonna mirror you. So we're gonna shift our weight over into our right foot, lifting our left heel up and resting it on our right ankle bone. Here we start in our kickstand position. This is a balanced posture, so we're working on our balance here. Find a stable focal point, probably on the floor, and I'll verbally guide you through this so you can maintain that balance. Bringing your hands to heart center and holding that heart center position. We're gonna get our bearings here and make sure we can hold this posture without falling over before we transition into a more advanced tree pose. So what we wanna do here, some cueing for our body alignment posture. We want to feel the connection of our right foot in toward the floor. We want to lift up through our knee, feeling that strength in our right quad, engaging that pelvic floor and pressing that left knee open, opening up that hip. We want to keep that hip open. Same with our mountain pose. We want to maintain that strong alignment, pressing the crown of our head up to the sky. Now, if your balance is good here, you can transition by lifting that left foot up and resting it on that right calf. Find your balance, maintain that focus on that stable focal point, probably about 3 feet in front of you on the floor. Pressing that left knee out, opening up that hip, really feeling that hip open here and maintaining that balance. Deep breaths in and out through our nose. Transitioning into an even more advanced move if you want to lift that left foot all the way up to that right thigh. So we're gonna press that left foot to the inside of that right thigh. Keeping that mountain pose nice and strong, opening up that hip. What we want to avoid here is letting that foot rest on our knee joint. We want to make sure we're not putting any undue pressure onto a joint here. So we press into the top of that thigh. If we can't maintain our balance here, we're gonna lower back down to that calf or even that kickstand position. Taking a deep breath in and exhale, release that foot back down to the floor. We wanna make sure we do this on both sides. So we're gonna go on to the other side. Shifting that weight over to our left side, keeping that softness in our left knee, and lifting that right heel up to that left ankle. Nice and strong upper body, pressing that right knee out, opening up that hip, moving that foot up to the calf if you can, continuing to open that hip out. Remember to maintain that focus, keeping that foot on the calf for now, standing up nice and tall. Find your balance, open up that hip, and if you want to slide that foot all the way up to the thigh. Remember, you can always come back to a modified version of this tree pose. Deep breath in, and exhale, release that foot all the way back down. Palms forward, back into our mountain pose. Thank you so much for your help today, Kadyn. Bringing our hands to heart center. I bow to the divine in you. Namaste. Cut. There is an enormous spider here. Can you please kill it?